There we go. Right, so we will get going at the 1/4 mark. We'll just give you guys a brief overview, and I'll try and keep an eye on the chat as best as I can, but bear with me, my chat's on my phone. We've got over 400 viewers, so a very busy chat. I'm not used to this much busyness, so yeah. Let's get into it. So breaking point, we've kind of done it already. There's videos on my channel. If you haven't seen them, there's a playlist. Go check it out. But we've done the first 3 chapters. I'm not going to waste time on that here because we've basically done it so far. So yeah, play. Let's have a look. So we have Grand Prix and time trial. We can experiment in time trial if you guys want to see a few things. I'll show you really quickly. So we have the 23 cars and the F2 cars. In regards to the 23 cars, they're not the final models. So the Red Bull is final. The Ferrari is not. That is the FOM My Team car. So is the Mercedes. The Alpine is legit. The McLaren is legit. The Alfa Romeo is legit. The Aston's legit. The Haas is not. It's FOM. And the AlphaTauri is legit. And the Williams is also FOM. So 4 non-official final chassis to 6 proper ones. So yeah, we have those cars available in this build. As for circuits, let me actually show you the circuits we have. So we have Bahrain, Miami, Imola, Canada, Britain, Hungary, and Brazil. The circuits that pretty much we've seen all the videos from all the content creators up until this point. Now, also, my first time streaming on YouTube, so give me some feedback on audio levels. Let me know if everything's okay. If I should lower the game audio, just let me know and I can adjust it, because it's my first time doing it on here, so yeah. First question, I guess, I have for you guys. Do you want to see a race or time trial? What should we do? Let's have some suggestions. I've only got 1 hour, so we can't do like 100% race. And even a 50 is pushing it, because that's like 50 minutes, and I want to do some, a few things. I want to kind of showcase as much as possible in this hour. So we're going to do like 3 to 5 lap races and keep it snappy and sweet, basically. That's my plan. Okay. And it seems like a majority want race. So we can do a race, why not? So we have F123 and F122, oh sorry, F222 more like. We'll do an F2 race in a bit. We'll start off with F1. So far what I've done and what I've shown Bahrain, I've shown Imola, and Silverstone. I don't think I've done Hungary, Brazil, Miami. I think I've done Canada in this build, but yeah, I definitely haven't done Hungary or Brazil yet. But let me know, is there a track you want to see? Brazil seems quite popular. Okay. Brazil seems like the overwhelming, so we'll go for Brazil. Right then, what car? What are we saying for this one? What do we fancy? Like I said, the Williams, the Haas, Ferrari, Mercedes are on the My Team FOM chassis. It's not the actual car, so bear that in mind. Aston Martin, Haas, AlphaTauri, Alpine, Red Bull. Quite a balanced one, to be fair. Seen quite a few shots for Aston Martin, to be fair. Quite a few shots for Aston. Mercedes as well. Williams, a few there. Aston, Mercedes, I'm seeing. We'll do Mercedes, because I done Aston the other day on my most recent video, so we'll go for Merc. That's a fairly popular one. And we'll drive as... I'll pick the driver, we'll pick Lewis with his new helmet. Right, so let me just quickly set this up. So we'll go no assists. We'll go for 105. Because I don't have any decent setups, and I just want to have a little bit of fun. So we'll do a 1-shot qualifying, and we'll do a 5-lap race. That's pretty fair. Dynamic weather. What do you want to do? A wet race or a dry race? What do you want to do? Wet or dry? A 5-lap race. Wet, okay. Pretty overwhelming. We'll do full wets, very wet. We'll do a couple of races, hopefully. Anything else? Strict track limits. Flashbacks on. We'll be using a few of those, without a doubt. Damage on sim. Yep, all good to go. Right. Let's get to it. By the way, guys, a massive thank you. I didn't expect this much of a turnout. 732 live viewers. That's incredible for my first ever stream. So big thanks to everyone. So yeah, much appreciated. Leave a like on the stream, by the way, because that will help me out. I've got plans to do this as, you know, a video afterwards in the algorithm. So I want it to hopefully do well. So hopefully leave a like. That always goes down well. Helps me out. Right, it's a wet race, so we'll go for increased downforce. Why not? And by the way, this is how the setups look. So if you haven't seen it, the wings are still the same, 50 values to choose from. Diff is also the same, from 50 to 100. Camber is also the same. But then the suspension is completely different this year. So we have, you know, 41 all the way down to, I believe, 0 or 1. So yeah, big overhaul on the suspension. Roll bars as well used to go from 1 to 11, now goes from 1 to 21, which is also a lot better in terms of, you know, flexibility, customization. Ride height as well is revamped. So good to see, man. Always good to see that stuff. We will tweak the brake bars, especially in the wet. And also tire pressures are different in terms of the way they work this year. The front seems to run more pressure than the rear, so should be interesting. Cockpit cam. Yeah, to be fair, I'm going to have to set up my cam settings because I haven't driven this car yet, and it's not ideal. So we will quickly set these settings up, and you can also, I guess, copy them, although it's not really accurate because this car will change for launch. Okay, I think I have got some settings already put onto this car. Okay, that's fair. I've already got some settings, so we'll just run with it. Right, let's go to it. One shot qualifying. Also, let me know how the audio levels are. Getting the power down so early there. Locking the rears there, drifting, nice. I will just drop to the back and start last for the sake of content. You can see we've got a nice lead over Verstappen, so probably could have done 110 to be fair. But yeah, that was actually quite easy to get to grips with. Traction's a lot better. It still isn't super easy, so it's still a challenge, you know, getting the traction down in the wet. But it's a bit better than last year's game. But also it's not too easy, which is nice. Which I was worried about at one point. I'll do a video, yes, Casper, with...
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who'll be fronting the grid. Verstappen, Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Okay, Crofty, cheers, mate. Yeah, Casper, I'll do a video on wheel settings, camera settings, once the game launches. So everyone that wants the settings, you'll have those at launch, as always, so stay tuned. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's get into the race. 105 is probably a little bit easy in these conditions, so it's a good thing we're going to start from the back. You can also see the new race intro if you haven't seen it now. we'll show it at one time and then we'll kind of skip through it for the rest of the stream.
Welcome to Sao Paulo, which has been host to Formula One races since 1973. So sit back and relax for what is sure to be a fantastic Brazilian Grand Prix. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 left turns and 6 right turns for a total of 15 corners. It's a wet one today as well, so grip and visibility will be at a premium, and the drivers will need to be careful coming up the hill in Sector 3, the scene of many an accident over the years. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what
I love this, by the way.
rundown looks like. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Russell, Gasly, Norris, Ocon, Bottas, Hülkenberg, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Oscar Piastri, De Vries, Joe, Albon, Stroll, Sargent. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Well, it's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions.
My name's bugged out in the bottom left, but you can't see because my camera's in the way.
And visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
So,
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
I do agree, like we were saying in chat, a few of you. In real life, the race intro is the other way round. It goes from last to first, and I hope that gets fixed or gets patched eventually because I think it's better having it in reverse order. Intro is really good, man. I love the grid rundown, though. It looks really nice, and I'll give them credit. The faces this year look so much better. Drivers like Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Bottas, Tsunoda, vast improvements, so much better. So yeah, real nice, level up on the facials there. But right, we're going to get into it. We'll do a few races in cockpit view as well at some point because I feel like it's easier this year to drive. And I'm not usually a user, but I find it's really just easy to do it and it's really accessible. And I want to show you guys that at some point. But for this one, we'll just drive cockpit TV cam, and we'll get into it. Some of you saying it's a 3-lap race, so I guess we'll find out. Oh, it's a 5-lapper. There we go. I know I was right. Right, let's get into it. Over 1,000 viewers. Thank you very much, guys. So 9,000 RPM. I find this a sweet spot. I still need to try and work on it. Nice start. Oh, we're getting sandwiched there. And that's damaged straight away. What? Oh, come on. That's harsh. I'm not having that. That's not fair, that penalty. Let's go again. I'm not having that penalty. No way. We'll try and do a last to first in 5 laps. The penalty isn't going to help. Let's go again. It's a live stream. There's no rules. We can do what we want, so we can go again. Right, that wasn't quite 9,000 RPM, but... Whoa! I looked at chat for a second there. What the hell happened? Car park. Okay. Visibility is not great. I love the improved rear flashing lights. They really add a nice touch, I think. Much more like the real life ones. So, I'll kind of talk about things I've picked up on the gameplay, and I can give you some thoughts while racing, but I've noticed that AI this year are super aggressive on the first lap, especially the first one, but also the second lap, in terms of their battery usage. They'll drain all their battery more than ever. They're so aggressive, and you can really see the power in the straights on the opening couple of laps, especially lap 1. So you have to bear that in mind. You could be half a second ahead at the start of a straight, and then by the end of the straight, they've pulled you in using all their battery deployment. So you have to be aware. Oh, so you can still have little moments if you're not careful. Trying to look around the outside of Oscar there, but my way through. Getting the traction down though beautifully around the outside. That's an excellent pass. Already up to P11. Definitely want to watch that race start back. Look at the traction. That was not possible in F122. In wet races, you'd always get demolished by the AI. You can see here what I mean. They're so strong on the straight. I'm using my battery, and we're not really doing anything in terms of, you know, beating them in straight line speed performance. I'm going to try and get past Valtteri here. We'll force our way through. And just like that, into the top 10. Obviously, still a work in progress, so there's a few little things here and there visually that are not fully there. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on the full version, which I'm hoping will be sometime next week, but obviously I can't post content until, in theory, June 13th, which is when the early access drops. I don't know what it is, and maybe you guys can give me your thoughts in the comments, but with this year's game, I don't know if it's noticeable in the gameplay when watching, but it almost feels really slow visually. Like it doesn't look very fast, and the AI seems very well behaved, very organized. It doesn't feel as erratic or almost unprofessional like F122 in many ways. It feels nice and smooth, very balanced and controlled. Back end is getting a bit loose there. Right, so now the AI should start using a bit less battery, so it should start to be a bit easier now to challenge on the straights. Trying to traction up in 4th gear. I do want to do race starts at some point. I want to give you guys some tips, which I think could be valuable. Something for you guys to learn, and will be, you know, valid information for pad and wheel users. Oh, Lando there with the little swipe. Okay, Lando, mate, I see you. Nice. Nice little rear end drift. Bit of rear lock in there to get the move done. Just going to tweak the bias, move it to 58, see if that helps a little bit. I can push the braking zones a bit more. No, this is the same build of the game that everyone has kind of been posting. I know in the last 24 to 48 hours there's been some videos from other creators, other YouTubers on Qatar and Las Vegas, but that's because they were at an exclusive EA event in the UK, which I couldn't go to, so I'm not in the UK. So I don't have access to that build or that version of the game. Oh yes. Give me that. Shout out to Daniel Ricciardo for that one. Yeah, guys, if you are new, if you're watching for the first time, if you want to hit that subscribe button, trying to reach that 100k by the end of the year, I'd love to achieve that finally on this game. If you want to help me out, I'd massively appreciate it. And if you're enjoying the stream, then leave a like, as that will also help out in the old YouTube algorithm, as this will be available as a video afterwards, so you can watch it back afterwards if you want to analyze things in detail for your own pleasure. Let's see if I can get these next 3 cars and finish in the top 4. That would be a decent race, to be fair. Lost the first in 5 laps on 105, going from P20 to P4 in the wet. Sorry, George, mate. Thought I'd go through. Apologies. There is not my team in this build, no. Oh, George there, just give me a little friendly love tap. So last lap of the race. Can we get Checo and Pierre Gasly? Gonna have to nail this middle sector. Oh, that wasn't a good final corner. Can we get him on the line? Don't think we can. Too much wing. We're too slow on the straight. Damn. P5 it is. Still, good fun. That was a fun one.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Hello Tom, why YouTube? Because it's a one-off. I usually stream on Twitch, but because it's F123 content and I know the majority of my audience is on YouTube, I felt like it was
A great race then, very much
better,
as we've come to expect,
you know.
and a fantastic victory here at Interlagos.
I'll show these animations once and then we'll just basically skip through them
How do you
to save time.
think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times.
No, that's not the updated W14.
Out there on cold
No.
tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
So I want to do two things. We're going to do
And here we are, a team that is no
Alpha
stranger
Tauri,
to the podium,
Imola,
taking their place on top once again.
in cockpit view.
A sublime race
I
today.
really enjoy that combination. I don't know why. I tried it. I love it. And I want you guys to see it. And we're going to do F2 race at Hungary. I haven't done that publicly yet, so I'll show you guys Hungary as well. And the F2 cars while I'm at it. And then if we have time left, we will do things you want to see. Like, I want to show you guys the race starts. I think they're interesting. There's a few things to show you in that one. I don't want to do a 35% race just because I only have an hour. And I want to try and show a lot of things as much as I can. So, yeah.
Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Whatever, man. Shut up, Crofty. No one wants to hear your voice. Right. That's the first challenge. 110 hours, Logan Sargent. I'm not quite there yet. Gonna need a good setup, a good esports setup to be able to pull something like that off. So yeah, at the minute we're using presets, so we haven't really got a chance of putting that off. Yeah, we'll do F2 now because you guys were asking for F2. So we'll do an F2 race. To be fair, I actually legit have not touched these cars yet, so I'm keen to see how these drive. We'll do Hungary because I haven't shown this one. I haven't really done this one, to be fair, so something different. We'll do cockpit cam after this. What car shall I pick? I'm just going to go based off looks, to be honest with you. Or should we pick Drogovic, the champion? Let's go Felipe, he's the champion. Why not? I'm going to have to do these settings again. Will the game save? 105. I'll go 105 because I don't know what to expect with the F2 cars, to be fair. Feature race, 5 laps. Yep, that's fine. Actually, I'll do a one-shot quali and see if I can get good. We'll do this in the dry because I want to survive driving an F2 car. I don't really do them often. Right, good to go. Let's get to it. Sergeant F2 is a good suggestion, to be fair. That was a good idea as well. Hey Tom, what is the braking point system like, and what is the best way to play to get ready, prepared for F123? Oh, the braking system. I have a braking system. It's not a lot different compared to 22, really. It just mentalize yourself that 58, more or less, is what 50 was in terms of brake bias on F122. So it kind of feels the same, but the balance, the kind of central point, has been shifted up. So if you go to like 57, it's technically like 49 on F122 if that ever were to exist, basically. So you have the option now of going even more to the rear, but you're going to have rear locking, so it's hard. And then obviously more frontward feels nice, but then if you front lock, it's really aggressive this year, the front locking. It really hurts the tyres, so it's a good balance. I like it. It's got a bit of everything, which I like. Anyway, we'll go for... It's already increased downforce, to be fair, so I'm probably going to stick with that, to be honest. Yeah, we'll leave it there. I'm just going to go for it. I need a single lap, so let's just see what happens. One thing I've got to do, I have to do this. Anyone that plays this game, I don't know how you do this, but I have to turn off the camera movement and the camera shake. It's just, I can't stand it. I see people drive with this, and it's unbearable. I've got to get rid of that camera movement. Right, that's more like it. Right then. 56 brake bars, default. Hopefully that's okay. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Got to brake a little bit earlier, but we're going to get a nice little cut back here. Traction is beautiful, although I forget I'm not driving an F1 car, so I've got to be careful with the downforce. This is my practice, one lap of practice, and we're going to hop into a race. Okay, what was about a second off? Not terrible. FM. Not on this channel. This is the wrong channel, mate. Maybe on Twitch. I will never rule it out.
The grid is all set for the race tomorrow, but before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top 3.
No, that's not bad.
Which are cordial.
1.1, that's not terrible. For a first attempt on 105. Haven't driven an F2 car in a year or so that's not bad. Let's get to the race. It's alright, mate. We're just gonna have to cut through the waffle. Got things to do. Got time to. Ain't got no time to waste. Right, let's go to it. 5 laps. No idea how to get a good start on these cars, to be fair. Maintain optimal RPM. Okay. So less. I'm a natural. Light work. Yep, big old fashioned yeet up the inside. Also, 4th place is gained already. I will admit in the handling there is a bit of, I'll try and show it afterwards, but especially in the wet, there is a bit of an F1 2017-ism where you can use like an extra downshift to get the car turned. And I'm talking like drifting the car. That's something that can help you in the wet conditions. I'll see how that, performs, especially if it's still there on launch, which I'm expecting it is, but give the benefit of the doubt while it's in the preview build. But you can kind of use downshifts to rape the gearbox and the car will turn and give you a bit more on the nose. Strafe, I just answered your question, mate, regarding the brake. It's the same thing as last year's game. It doesn't feel different. The difference is that 50 brake bias now is 58, pretty much. But you can have much more aggressive rear locking and also front locking, which is very, very rough this year. It punishes the tyres a lot. Right, hello Logan, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. How are you doing? Might be under pressure here from Paul Chat. General thoughts on the game? I love the game. I am very impressed, considering it's in many ways a bit of an evolution last year's game rather than a revolution, besides of course F1 World, which I'm still yet to get my hands on, which I'm very excited to see. The key thing, even if it was a complete reskin of F1 22, which it isn't, the big thing is that the handling is a lot more fun this year, which just automatically makes it a much better experience. Like, if the handling's good, you can enjoy driving, and that's the main thing about this game, is that the driving should be fun. So that's always the key thing for me. F1 22 was not fun generally to drive. which made it quite hard to play the game, especially with the limited features compared to 21 and the lack of evolution, you know, in F1 life. Oh, okay, Logan. That's an invitation, mate. Thank you. Gonna give you the old squeezerino. So there, I'm just dipping into second gear to kind of get the car drifted a bit. And there, third gear, drifting the rear a little bit. But no, it's good fun, man. I enjoy this game. And I'm looking forward to playing the proper version. And F1 World, that is the big mystery. Like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. And this is for the real G's who are watching the stream right now. My approach this year might change in terms of how I tackle the launch. I don't know if I'll do a pre-mode at launch straight away. I may give F1 World a go because I feel like it could be the future of F1 games, and for me to kind of establish an expanded audience, I might have to kind of do that to give myself, you know, a better long-term career, if that makes sense. I think there's going to be a big audience there with the revamped multiplayer, F1 World, ranked, all that stuff. I've got a few things in mind, but I need to get my hands on it before I can say things for certain. You know, I'm kind of guessing now. And also, those of you that are here, what do you reckon? McLaren return to glory as the starting career mode, if I do that, rather than my team? Does that sound interesting? I feel like my team is going to be something that I want to do later on in the game cycle. So like I'm talking, you know, November, December, once the season ends in real life and the game's been around for a few months. By that point, mods are going to be nicely developed and things are going to be looking pretty decent. We'll have hopefully, you know, the updated car models, which usually come around that time with the new patches, the kind of mid-season updates. And we'll have a pretty developed game. So by that point, a nice My Team with some updated cars and everything, that would be a pretty good thing to do later on in the game cycle. So I feel like for now, I'd rather do a driver career and try and get McLaren back to the top. Also, a theory which I have, this is interesting, and this is where I need to play F1 World to know. I feel like there's a possibility where I could do a sort of online My Team career mode in F1 World, where I develop, you know, my own car, my team, and basically try to become the best. But in F1 World Online, it's basically my team, but the online version, which could be interesting. But I need to, like I said, get my hands on it to really understand how that could work. Oh, I tried to get the power down there, but didn't work. Do I dare go for the send? Do I dare? Light work. Let's see if I can nab a point. Just going to focus up here. See if I can get that top 10 finish. Yeah, I've been on the air for an hour, but I've been unlisted. I've not actually been on the game for an hour. Been on the game since 8:15 UK time, so still got a while yet. I'm not going to make it. I was hoping to maybe bag a point, but decent pace in this last lap. Finally understanding how these cars work. Unless Coolball makes a mistake. I'm sweating, man. These cars are a workout. But not quite there. Purple Sector 3. Managed to get through half the grid.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Hello, Bushy. How you doing, mate? Good to see you, fella. Good to see you on the YouTube. I don't know why my YouTube chat's like bugged.
That's it for another race and a fantastic win for Virtuosi. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
It was down to one thing: consistent pace over everyone else out there on the track. We could spend a great deal of time talking about.
I've got some comments locked in my chat, so that's more like it. Now I can see what's going on.
The difference here was down to simply being faster on track than everyone else. Amazing skill on show.
I appreciate all of you, by the way. Holding 1K viewers. Lovely stuff.
So, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi.
Sorry, fellas, got a bounce. Right, what time is it? How are we doing for time? Okay, we've got 25 minutes. Still plenty of time. So I'm going to do a little three lapper at Imola, AlphaTauri, and we're going to do it in cockpit view. Now, hear me out. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I don't know what it is with this game. It feels different. It feels drivable. It feels I can see things. I have visibility. And this combo in particular I really enjoyed. So we're going to get the Yuki Tsunoda. We're going to make sure we get a 3-lapper on the go. Quick fire. We'll do a one-shot quali, even though we'll probably just start last anyway. We'll do a clear, keep it simple. And yeah, right, let's get to it. Is there a sprint quali feature? There is sprint, but not in this build. The sprint mode in this preview build crashes the game, so we can't use it. It's there, but it just crashes the game. It's not ready to go. Rouge, man. It's only a 3-lap race. I know you don't like it. I've seen your comments a million times. It's just a couple minutes, man. It's not in the world. Stick around for my thoughts. Leave the tab on in the background while I discuss, and make a cup of tea or something. Make a cup of coffee. I don't know. Entertain yourself, but keep this on the background. Right. So this is default. All I've done, I've just got the halo off. I've got the audio settings for driver, so it sounds like you're in the car. But I don't know, man. Visibility feels great with this year. It's going to be really hard getting used to this car after driving an F2. Wow, the downforce, the grip. Oh, we're getting demolished on 105. Jeez. Oh, great. Bit too aggressive there. It's going to start last anyway, so yeah. No, I don't use ultra wide, Bushy, mate. Do you? I'd love to try this in ultra wide, to be fair. That must be incredible. I love how good this game looks, man. Mile 1, I've got a few videos on our channel, mate, explaining what F1 World is, but in a nutshell,
let's review our top
keeping it
today.
very, very, very,
Verstappen,
very simple.
Leclerc,
Let me just see what my pace was,
Sergio
actually.
Perez.
What did I do lap time wise?
Qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back
17.5.
as we head into the Grand Prix.
Oh, okay, so I actually got Sergeant, to be fair, so I would have been P19, possibly P18, so I wasn't really miles away. F1 World in a nutshell, mate, is basically Ultimate Team, FIFA Ultimate Team for F1, slash kind of iRacing, slash kind of my team, but online. It's got elements of all of them. Sorry, I can't waste time with this. Right. Let's go. Let's get it. Optimal RPM. Oh, the start. Give me that start. Let's go. 8.5, 9,000 RPM is the way to go. Look at this, let me cook. Ooh. I would have the virtual mirror on, by the way, but that really does consume performance. That's very draining on FPS, so I've just got the look behind. Installed it, just easier. I wish I could use VR or something, or like Bush said, the ultra wide to use the mirrors. That would be insane. Right, Nick, I need you to back out, mate. Good boy. Good lad. See, last year the AI would challenge you here. When they're right behind you like that, they would just go for the move. But this year, they kind of are a bit more logical. They won't go for just reckless passes at the first opportunity they get. They'll be a bit more patient, which is nice. I've got about 75% battery, which is okay for a 3-lapper. A bit of gravel there. I've got track limit warning. There we go, we're closing on Oscar. I'm taking that. That's my position, mate. Happy days. Nice, clean pass. I love this sound from inside the cockpit. The settings I have in the driver mode. But yeah, just to confirm, this camera view is completely default. All I've done is take the halo column off. But I just feel like visibility is great, and this track is so much fun to drive in this year's game. With the improved curbs, the way the car can just smash the curbs and drive over them. Also, the improved traction, of course, goes a long way to just basically, you can just enjoy the traction zones and not have to worry so much about, you know, wheel spin. It's just nice. Just flows beautifully. Really get to enjoy Imola. Second warning there. Thought I kept it within bounds, but clearly not. Right, last lap of the race. Let's get some moves done here. Without hopefully getting a pen. Right, can we get Nico? Ooh, getting bad.
Okay, DRS is now available.
Oh god, I tried to go for the little shimmy there, the little fake and bake. Let's watch it from the TV cam. I thought I could have caught, you know, Hulkenberg napping there, but he cut me off at the right time. There, just moved across, fair play. That's what I mean. AI are smarter this year. I think they're a bit better. That's on me for doing a stupid move. But good defense there, because when I go for this move, I'm thinking normally in F122 he won't cover the inside. That doesn't happen in F122, but in this game it does. So I went, and straight away he's there. He's covering straight away. If you look at the line of the Alfa Romeo in front, that's the AI line. So you can see he's responding, covering. So fair play, man. AI doing their thing. So we'll just do the logical thing. Will the AI behave into turn 1, which they struggled to do in last year's game? Yep, they do indeed. Still running a bit deep, but much better than 22, where they would constantly lock up into turn 1, bounce over the curb, and then hit you in the side pod and give you floor damage, which was the kind of traditional recipe for a race in F122 around here. I've got a little bit of battery left. I'll see if I can try and get Joe. Not going to be easy. So even now I'm traction in 3rd gear. No problems. Going to launch over the chicane here. Hope for the best. That was great, but not enough. That could become a meta, by the way, revving it in 7th gear. I noticed it when I did my Silverstone race the other day, revving out 7th gear through turns 1 and 2 at Silverstone.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
No, no one's done much Williams gameplay. I've generally not done gameplay, besides right now doing a race with the Merc. I don't do gameplay with the cars that are the FOM Mighty multiplayer car because it's not the actual car, so there's not really much to show. Do you know what I mean? It's not the actual thing, so...
Who do you pick?
There's a few contenders, but
I just want to watch that start back, man. That start was cracked. Absolutely mental, mate. Just got to watch that start back one time. I'm have to get this out on the old YouTube clips. It was that good. Off the line, quick short shift a second, slight bit of wheel spin, getting the batteries on, and then just cutting our way through the field like a hot knife through butter, and then using the space on the brakes to just launch it around the outside. Simply lovely. Very, very nice. Thoughts on Alfa Romeo Road to Glory? It's an option, definitely. There's a lot of options this year. There was a lot of good options. I felt like Alfa Romeo, I was going to continue the Aston Martin one, but I'm afraid that won't attract a new audience, which is what I want. Right, how do we have? We've got 15 minutes. So, do you want to see another race, guys, or do you want to see something else? Like, I wanted to show you the race starts. I mean, you've just seen the race starts anyway, to be fair, but let me know. Maybe do you want to see, like, there's another car you want to see and a track you want to see? Canada's good, to be fair. I can show you Canada. Canada's different this year. Yeah, this is the 22 theme song. It's got a mixture of like 22 and 23, but I'm assuming, I hope anyway, that they all eventually, well, the old songs get replaced for 23. Canada, okay, that's pretty popular. I did Brazil a moment ago, PC failed. If you go back on the stream like 20 minutes ago, I did Brazil, if you want to check that. Norris, Canada with Sargent, Haas. I haven't used the Haas, to be fair. Alpha. Piastri. That's a good shot, actually, Piastri. I like that. Haas. Williams. There's quite a few shots for Haas. Let's go Haas. And we will go for... Well, look at the face detail. Magnussen, top draw. Great update. Beard looks on point. And Hulkenberg looks great as well. We will go for Nico. Get there for this one. We will get that one going. We'll do a 3-lapper in case we have time for them to squeeze one more in. We'll do dynamic mode and see what we get. See what the game gives us. Let's see what the game gives us in terms of weather forecast. I'm going to update to a direct drive wheel. At some point, I'd love to, definitely. I mean, I'm still sitting on like a desk. The fact that I even compete and do like decent league racing, like I'm pretty high level with this office chair, a GT Omega chair and a desk, is mental. I don't know how much I've gained, but I'd love to know like what I could do with a full, like a proper rig with a direct drive wheel. That does intrigue me. I'm looking forward to league racing this year, man. I'm really like, I'm buzzing. I can't wait. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea on the channel, but I feel like I gained a pretty decent audience at the end of last year's game. And people eventually started watching the league racing content, so I'm looking forward to getting back into that. That's going to be a lot of fun this year. Right, I'm not wasting any time. Let's get to it. I've got to fix the camera though. I can't stand the camera. Let's do actually let's do a little bit of offset to your cam for this one. I haven't done offset to your cam in a minute. Oh, okay, brake bias. So readjust that if I can before we get going. A bit of an offset for a change. Oh, that feels a bit choppy. Oh, that's my first one in this game. Haven't had many of those. fair enough. Car feels like an absolute dog. Feels horrible. Feels like a Haas. How a Haas should feel. Ugh. Try again. I'm just going to adjust the brake bias from the get-go, otherwise I'm messing up turn 1. And I will actually pick... I'm going to go for balance instead of top speed. The Haas needs a bit more downforce. Let's go 58. There we go. Right, let's try that again. Yep, OG Tom 97 content here with the offset TU cam. I still miss using this camera for realism purposes, but nowadays competing and driving at a certain level is important, so got to do what we can. Oh, what a difference to the south already. I feel like this chicane's been pushed back a bit. This track has had the revision, it's not just the final chicane. I think there's been slight tweaks. These chicanes also feel a bit longer. They last a bit longer, takes a bit longer to get on the power. Nico, get there. Oh, God. Not a good exit, made up for that to be fair. The chicane is so different. It's basically the same, but they've moved the wall on the right a lot further down, so the muscle memory really throws you off. You think it's a lot later, but it hits you straight away. You have to throw the car in, and you can't actually see. And I'll show you what I mean before we finish. So, you arrive at the chicane, and in last year's game, the wall was a lot, would end a lot sooner, or the chicane was a lot further. I can't quite tell. Either way, you think you've got a lot of time, but actually, you can't even see the second apex. Like, by the time you're turning in, you can't actually see the second apex. So this year, it's basically, it's blind, so you have to have real confidence to throw the car in, because that wall's right there. So visibility is a big thing. However, the curbs have been flattened, so they are easy to glide over. But yeah, visibility, as you can see, like I'm turning in here and you can't see the second apex. So yeah, definitely I like the challenge, it's good. Right, top 10. Happy days. Nico. Happy 10. See if we can try and get a top 5 finish.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves once again of our...
No need, Crofty, no need, mate. Try full traction, ABS, and automatic versus no assist. I ain't got time for that now. We've literally got 5 minutes left to go, 10 minutes to go. So, but I think assists aren't that bad. Although to be fair, you don't need. Oh, I've got a wet race. Oh, interesting. You don't need assists as much this year. Not on traction anyway. Even the most full traction player should be able to drive on medium traction easily in this game. And the person who drives on medium, this is the game for you to try and turn the traction off. If you can't turn the traction off in this game and do it, you're never going to do it in your life. This is the easiest game to turn traction off and learn without assists. So this is a good game for a learning curve to kind of get more casual players to get good and try different things. I will show one thing actually before we get into the race, is my ball settings, which I'm going to adjust right now. I just saw a tweet the other day, which I thought was interesting, from David Greco, who makes the handling. And he said, anything on the force feedback above 70, actually you lose a bit of feeling. So I'm going to nudge that down. But this is the settings that I use. It's all default, I think, pretty much. I need to mess around with the wheel damper. That's temporary. I haven't found the sweet spot for that yet. But the game feels good out the box, honestly. It just feels easy to drive out the box. Doesn't need a lot of work. I use 300 degrees rotation, personal choice, preference, you know. But yeah, let's go. Wet race. Having that balance set up is going to be actually a nice little bonus. Right, doesn't have to wait here. Be patient. Can I use the downforce and the extra wing to force a move? Damn right I can. Oh yes, that is world class. just trying out different camera angles, you know. This is the, you know, the one you see in real life. I don't get why people get so annoyed with this camera angle. You see it every real life race weekend on TV. When you see an onboard lap, this is the camera that you get. But for some reason, it's a strange thing in the F1 game when people use it. That was the worst hairpin of all time, by the way. Let me correct that mistake really quickly. Although, to be fair, I don't know if I've got the straight line speed to get through with the lack of wing. Ocon with a challenge. Let's see if I can set him up for a pass. Oh, fair play. That was fair play. In F1 22, if you force the car to the inside defensively, they will take the worst line ever into the next corner, so you can just basically come on the switchback. But Ocon, to be fair, done that pretty well. I was as clean as it gets, really. This chicane's definitely going to move back, I feel like. You have to wait a bit longer, otherwise you're just going to keep cutting it. Oh, good exit. Nice bit of traction there. Oh, yes, go on, Ocon, let's go. Let's go. Get the elbows out, son. Yeah, exactly. That's what we want to see. Cheeky bugger. Left the door open, and then when I was going down the inside, he tried to squeeze me onto the grass. Love that from the AI. Love a bit of aggression, but in the right way. You know, it's fair, but it's hard racing. Yeah, Spain's not in this build. I'm looking forward to trying that game. Well, to be fair, I've driven it in Assetto Corsa, laser scanned, and it's awesome. I drove it in my video yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But you can see what a laser scanned Barcelona looks like with the updated layout. Amazing, we're still holding 1,000 viewers, man. That's awesome. What an incredible success, this stream. Hopefully the VOD goes down well as well. Well, it's a bit late Sunday night. Everyone's back at school tomorrow and whatnot. Back at work. But they are pretty strong, actually, in intermediate conditions. Not as bad as they were in Brazil in the full wet. Well, to be fair, I'm a lot higher up in a Haas. I was in a Merc in Brazil. So that's kind of understandable. I'll take a warning. Why not? Trying to catch Pierre Gasly. I just clocked actually. It's Pierre Gasly versus Nico Hülkenberg. The two of them. Where's Daniel when you need him, man? You're having a field day. Gonna run out of battery here. Not quite gonna get close enough. Should we go for the old launch over the chicane and pray? Can't see a thing. Okay, that's going to be yep, don't mind, mate.
Handed a 3-second penalty for obvious corner cutting.
I said I was going to launch over the chicane.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Pierre with a slide there. Spray looks terrible. Spray looks unfinished to me. That's the word I would use. It looks good, but suddenly the spray kind of just cuts off. It's weird.
In what has been another fabulous Grand Prix. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
I love it when you go into a race day with no data from the weekend to fall back on.
Well, Dad, how are you, mate? Good to see you.
Into the unknown. Planning goes entirely out of the window.
Full feedback for the MS22? No. No, it's the full feedback goes hand in hand with the handling to make it a much better experience.
And they should be so proud of the victory they secured here.
Ferrari is back. Numero uno is back. They wish they could get double podium. So, Cole? Well, we're pretty much at the 1 hour stage, so yeah, I will probably stop the gameplay. I'll stay on for a bit, answer your questions if you have
So
questions.
then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I'll try and get through as many as I can, or like the most frequent recurring questions. And yeah, we'll call it a day, pretty much. And then I don't think there's any F123 content next week. This is the last of it. And yeah, so we've got one more week. Gonna have to close out the Aston Martin Road to Glory next week, so it should be fun. And I've got a surprise next week, which I'm hoping I can deliver. I will let the cat out of the bag on YouTube because why not? I'm bringing my team back for one episode, maybe two. Depends on time and when I can post F123, but I want to do at least one episode of my team because I managed to recover the save that I lost months ago, and it's unfinished, so I might just try and sim the last season and see what happens.